The following is a presentation of the Arizona Cardinals Broadcast Network.
Run it, run it, run it. Let's go. Get out, let's go. Here we go, work at it. Work your technique, do little things right. That's it, all right, roll it.
This is Cardinals Game Plan, presented by Dignity Health. Your hosts, Paul Calvisi and Ron Wolfley, with the head coach, Kliff Kingsbury.
All right, you talk about going up-tempo. I mean, it's been the no-huddle pretty much all week when you're on Thursday night football. Wolf, I don't know how your cardio is, but try and keep pace here, all right?
Okay, Paul, I will. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that,
All
Paul.
right, 24 hours away, Cardinals and Niners prime time. Just the challenge of being a head coach on a condensed game week like this. What's it like?
It's fast and furious. You know, you want to make sure you have enough in the game plan, but not too much that it overwhelms the players on a short week. But our guys are excited and ready for the challenge.
Kliff, who do you think it's tougher on, the coaches or the players?
Physically the players, obviously, but mentally the coaches, no doubt. I mean, you're trying to get a lot done in a short amount of time, and there's that fine line you walk about how much to put in, and so we work through that.
It wasn't long before the Saints game when you learned officially, or at least according to the reports, that Drew Brees was going to be the starting quarterback. Did that change much going into that game for the Cardinals?
It didn't. We had to prepare as if he was going to be the starter, and I had a feeling, being the competitor that he is and all-time great, he was going to find a way out on that field. And, he was vintage Drew Brees. He was as good as it gets, and you got to give him a lot of credit for, pushing through that injury and playing a great game.
The Saints are a lot more balanced team, whether it's Drew Brees or Teddy Bridgewater, aren't they?
They really are. All three phases, they've really built a solid football team, and they'll be right there in the end. There's no question.
All right, it was a good start. Defense holds up. There's a missed field goal by the Saints, and then your second play from scrimmage. Let's make this the film breakdown right here, right? It was 2nd and 8 from the 39, and take it from there.
Yeah, it was a play we thought we could hit if we got it off. Christian did a great job. Kind of selling that we're tossing to him and then getting it back, took a little bit of a shot, and then Charles makes a great play. So we felt like we had something if we could get the pass back to Kyler, and sure enough, they pulled it off.
I think Kyler mentioned that the first read was Larry, the intended target?
It was, and he did a nice job of getting off of that one and finding Charles down the field.
It's great play design right there, Kliff. Why are trick plays a must for any offense?
You got to keep people off balance. You got to keep them guessing, and the players enjoy it as well. I think anytime you put something fresh and have a fun name, the players get a kick out of it.
It seemed like on both sides of the ball, the Cardinals were aggressive. Was that the mindset of the coaches going in against a team like that in their home venue?
No question. We want to be aggressive as a staff every week, but particularly on the road, you knew they were going to be a tough team to beat with everything they have rolling, and we needed to play our best and go after them.
And we know they have a top 10 D, and it was midway through the second quarter, 10-3 game. You'd only run 8 offensive plays. How tough was it to get into a rhythm at that point in the game?
Yeah, they had run the ball really well and held on to the football. We had a couple drives, and they moved along pretty quickly. And so, unfortunately, they kind of controlled the ball the first half.
You had run, I believe, 8 plays through the middle of the second quarter. Were you even off your original script?
Yeah, we hadn't got much into it at that point. We were still working our way down and had a couple drives early that we couldn't put in the end zone, but it was just one of those games.
And Kliff, is that hard for you as a play caller to get in a rhythm yourself when you have 8 plays going into the middle of the second quarter?
I think it's tougher for the players to get in a rhythm and get out there and get rolling. Play callers, you're going to have enough on your sheet, but they need to get in that flow, and we weren't able to do that at times.
Yet at halftime, it's a 10-6 game. I know at half, you had mentioned coming out just the respect for Drew Brees, his ability to, dissect and diagnose the Cardinals defense. He's seen it all, obviously.
He has. He's been in that system 13 years, and it showed. He was orchestrating at the line of scrimmage, getting them into the perfect play, it seemed like, every time. And then when we did get pressure, he has that innate sense of when to get the ball out, whether it's a check down or throw it away, and he did a great job the entire game.
What were your adjustments at the half?
Yeah, we knew offensively we had to sustain some drives, and obviously we didn't do a good enough job of that. And then defensively, I thought like we battled, and anytime you hold that team to 10 points with, I think, 7 minutes left in the third quarter, you're doing a good job, and it got away from us late.
In fact, right about then, it was the P2 effect. It was Patrick Peterson with the pick, and you have the ball with a chance to take the lead. Tell us about the next sequence. There was a sack, and then there was a Christian Kirk 16-yard catch. And then you had brought up yourself the 3rd and 1 and then the 4th and 1. You take us through that and your thought process there.
Yeah, I really like the 3rd and 1 call. Kind of had a little bit of a rollout. Cameron Jordan did a great job of disrupting Chase there in the flat and threw the timing off a bit, weren't able to hit it, and then came back on a play we liked. We had, the look and just weren't able to execute it the way we needed to do. But looking back, would have liked to call a different play at that time, but we were going to be aggressive and felt like that was a time that we could take control of the game.
Coach, when you called that 3rd down play, did you know you were going to go for it? If it was
did.
4th and 1, did you?
Yeah, I thought we were going to get a 3rd down play, but I knew we had 2 downs there.
And how much of that has to do with the opponent in the venue? Does it go back to your original mantra of being aggressive? Is that all part of the equation?
Yeah, it's all a feel thing. I mean, we have analytics we use as a baseline on certain calls, but that's a feel thing. Where we're at as a team, how the game was going, felt like that was a real chance for us to get half a yard on offense and take control of the game.
It sounds like, Coach, you'd do it again.
No question. I'd call a better play, I guess, but I would do that again in that situation.
What changed from that point forward and led to the win, 31-9 by the Saints?
Yeah, they went down and scored, and then we had a great drive going. Had the pass interference called that would have put the ball to 1, and somehow they picked up the flag, which you don't see very often, and we settled for 3 there, and then still had it again on another 4th down to make it a 1-score game going in, and weren't able to convert, and they went down and scored to make it 31-9. But our guys played hard. They played to win the entire game, and I was proud of that effort.
What's the status on Chase Edmonds right now, Coach?
Chase is down for this week. He suffered a hamstring injury, and on the short week, I won't be able to go.
Next up, with a short week in store, Coach Kingsbury puts the focus on the undefeated 49ers when Cardinals Game Plan returns. Cardinals Game Plan is brought to you by Dignity Health. Hello, human kindness. And by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM.
All right, you go down to the Big Easy, and these days, nothing easy about playing the Saints. Easily could end up in the Super Bowl this year. What positives do you take from that game, and especially the fact it was such a close game midway through the 3rd quarter?
Yeah, I mean, losing is always tough, but there were some great efforts in all 3 phases. Guys playing hard. I didn't think we executed like we have in the previous 3 games as far as doing things at the level we have to do them, particularly against a team like that. But effort was hard, and we played to win.
Through 3 quarters, Coach, I mean, you played these guys toe-to-toe. This was a ball game.
It was, and like we said, we went for it on the 4th down, and momentum changed a little bit, but our guys played to win, and I appreciate that about them every week.
You also had to feel really good about the fact you did not turn the ball over once again, right?
That's been a huge plus for us to have a young quarterback in that environment against a great defense. It's given us a chance in a lot of games to be there at the end, and we have to keep that up.
Did they challenge Kyler with a lot of different looks?
They had mixed some things up, there's no question. They're such a good defense, up front that they don't have to at times, but they do a good job mixing coverages and mixing looks, particularly on 3rd down.
Did they try to come after him any more than any other team? It seemed like there was a point in time where they did.
Yeah, early on in the game, they brought some zero pressures that we hadn't really seen on tape and sold out on the blitz. But I thought Kyler handled it well, got the ball out when he needed to.
Obviously, Christian Kirk showed up. I mean, coming off the high ankle sprain to have 8 catches, 79 yards, and a 19-yard run. Man, you can see the explosiveness already.
He's a guy that can really go. Practices his tail off, shows up every day to work to get better, and it shows up on Sundays. So we were happy to have him back.
Would you ever put him in the backfield and actually hand the ball off to him and let him run?
We may have to, the way things are going, so we'll find out. But yeah, he'll do it all. He's a great, kick returner as well, and so he's not afraid to stick his nose in there.
All right, so the Cardinals make the trade. Kenyan Drake comes over from the Dolphins. That's on Monday. He's got to play on Thursday night. Tell us about Drake and just the challenge of getting him game ready.
He's a player we're excited about. Everybody speaks very highly about the type of person, character, work ethic, all those things you want, and obviously an explosive player. And so we'll find a way to get him in there and make sure the play is specific to him, he knows, and can execute at a high level.
Coach, do you think he has the ability to be an every down back?
He does. He does. There's no question. He's an explosive guy. He can catch it. He can run tough between the tackles, and we're excited to get him.
Kind of a bigger dude, too.
Yeah,
right?
6 foot, 205, 210, and so he brings some physicality to that position.
All right, so when you look at that Niners defense, man, there's some historic numbers they've been putting up. What stands out the most?
Everything. I mean, they're playing so well together as a group. They've built that thing through the draft and have a bunch of first-rounders flying around up front. The front seven is as good as any will play. The back end, with Sherman and those guys, very savvy group, and they're playing at an extremely high level.
How about their defensive coordinator, Robert Saleh? What do you know about him?
Yeah, he has great energy. He does a good job mixing up coverages. You see the transformation from last year to this year and what he's doing with his personnel, and he's done a tremendous job.
You can't help but look at last week's game. They stopped the Carolina Panthers' 4-game winning streak, but the final score, 51-13. I know you watched a lot of Sean Payton film over the years. How about Kyle Shanahan?
Yeah, Kyle's a great offensive mind, always has been. I've always respected, even when he had third, fourth-string quarterbacks in there, found a way to move the ball and be productive. And to me, that's a sign of a great coach.
Do they play a lot of man, Kliff, for the most part, or are they a zone? Do they mix it up?
More of a zone coverage team. They'll mix in man, but more of a zone team. Not a heavy pressure team. Bring 4 a bunch with that front. They can do that, and they're playing really well together.
And not unlike the Saints, whereas you might think of Drew Brees, you think of Jimmy G, but it's defense and the run game is stout by the Niners, isn't it?
It is. Great run game. Good 1-2 punch there with those backs. And Jimmy G's playing at a high level, have a great tight end, and they got it rolling.
More with Coach Kingsbury later in the show. Up next on Cardinals Game Plan, presented by Dignity Health, Hassan Reddick, wired for sound in New Orleans.
Don't do that no more.
Welcome back to Cardinals Game Plan. Linebacker Hassan Reddick was mic'd up for Sunday's game in New Orleans. Wired, brought to you by your Arizona Ford dealers.
Let's go. Let's go.
Set the tone from first snap. Play together, play for each other. This is the linebackers right here.
Yes, sir.
Take
Yes,
pride in that.
Yes, sir.
LB's on 3. 1, 2, 3.
LB.
What a day to be great.
Blood pumping. I felt energy like this in a long time, man. Hey, man. Let's go, man. Let's go today, man. Let's go dominate. Gang on 3. 1, 2, 3. Defense, we are first. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yes, sir. We're going to set the tone early.
Back the throw goes Brees, takes a shot, far side, it's high and incomplete at midfield.
Go, sir. Mamo. Mamo.
Here's a run play up the middle to Murray. The Cardinals stuff it. A gain of 2 on the play.
Nickel, nickel, nickel. Green, green.
Brees in the gun
Hey,
here.
force on, force on.
Shotgun snap. Brees backs to throw. And a short pass to the right flat. Caught by Murray at the 40. Wrestled to the ground.
Don't do that no more.
Either you or Jordan, and that's who they're throwing at.
All right,
That's all this guy does is try to get matchups on
I
linebacker.
got you.
So wear him out.
All right. 3. All they get.
Ready.
Watch the ball, watch the ball. Watch the ball. I'm with you.
Shotgun snap to Brees. Drops back to pass. Lobs it. Middle of the field in the end zone. Incomplete. Jordan Hicks jumped up into the air and tipped the ball at the goal line. Incomplete. Now it's 4th and 5 on the 8, and the Saints will bring on the field goal team.
Boy. If you'd have took that draw, I was running. Yeah, I was running. Yeah, we're going to get there. Just cover. Just cover. We're going to get there.
Brees back to pass, steps up, gets drilled, ball flutters out of his hand. They haven't blown it dead yet. It's picked up at the 30-yard line. The Cardinals are running it back. 20-10, 5 touchdown, Jordan Hicks.
Hey! Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go, baby.
Boy, it looked like the arm was going forward by Drew Brees as he got hit. They didn't rule it incomplete. Hicks picked up the bouncing ball and brought it back for a touchdown.
That's got to be brought back right here, obviously, right? I mean, his arm was moving forward. Hassan Reddick
Let's go, man.
with the hit.
I'm tired.
Good job, baby. That's nice, though. 2nd and 10.
A snap to Brees. 5-step drop. Pass over the middle is incomplete, intended for Latavius Murray.
Stop crying for the flag. Get your ass back over there.
10-6 New Orleans, 11-minute mark of the 3rd. First down on the Saint 33. Brees takes the snap. Play fake as he drops the throw. A screen to the left, caught by Murray at the 30. Runs left to the 35 and spun out a play by Hassan Reddick.
Yes, sir. I'm good.
Shotgun snap to Breeze. Drops back to pass. Throws to the far side. It is caught by Murray at the 10, to the 5, and it's a touchdown. Breeze out of the gun. 2nd and goal on the 5. Snap to Breeze. Short set. Quick throw to the left, and it is caught by Hill for a touchdown. The New Orleans Saints led 10-6 late in the 3rd. They end up winning going away 31-9 over the Cardinals.
Next on Cardinals Game Plan, Paul and Wolf put the spotlight on Thursday's nationally televised matchup with the 49ers. Welcome back to Cardinals Game Plan. Now, Paul and Wolf put the spotlight on the opponent, the 7-0 San Francisco 49ers, presented by Phillips Law Group.
All right, we know the TV cameras are going to find Jimmy G and Kyler Murray, but that's not where you're starting in this matchup, are you? Because look what they just did to Carolina, Ron Wolfley. 232 yards rushing by a Niners team minus its starting offensive tackles, both of them.
Yep.
And the defense had 7 sacks. So where do you start?
Oh, I start on the line of scrimmage with the 49ers. I mean, especially their ability to run the ball. This is going to be the matchup of the game on Thursday night. The 49ers, especially on a short week, you know they're going to do this. They're going to line up and they're going to run the ball. And Paul, they're going to run the ball in a north-south kind of way. They got Breida, they got Tevin Coleman as well. Those two guys have been very, very efficient, very effective for them. They run the ball in a north-south way, and they do it in a very creative kind of way with Kyle Shanahan, even without Kyle Juszczyk, their fullback.
Every time the Cardinals play the Niners, the Cardinals defenders always rave about Kyle Shanahan's offense, his scheme, his play calling. Simply put, it keeps the defense honest, doesn't it?
No doubt about it, Bully. And again, when Kyle Juszczyk, the fullback, of course, when he's healthy, he makes that 49ers offense really go. But it's going to be on the line of scrimmage. That's matchup number 1 to me. The Cardinals' ability to stop the 49ers from running the ball. And then you flip it over. When the Arizona Cardinals have the ball, their ability to protect Kyler Murray. Here it comes. The 49ers, one of the best pass rushes in the National Football League.
Because you look at the Saints game, and look, yeah, the 4th and 1 call, okay, and there was a momentum swing there, but it was 3rd down, it was red zone, it was the run game. That's what really decided the game. So do the Cardinals have a realistic shot of getting a run game minus Chase Edmonds now and probably David Johnson?
I really believe they do because of Kenyan Drake. I believe this guy can play, flat out play. Here's a guy, Paulie, I love this. Hasn't missed a game. 54 straight games for Kenyan Drake, right? The fact that he's been very, very productive. 4.6 yards per carry in 3.5 years of actually playing in the NFL, right? And not only that, 116 receptions in those games. Listen, Paul, this is a guy that has broke more tackles. This is a guy that makes people miss. I absolutely love the fact they picked this guy up. I think he's going to contribute a lot.
And then when the Niners want to throw it, they have George Kittle, a tight end, who just set the record all-time for most receiving yards at the tight end position last year. They just traded for Emmanuel Sanders, who had a touchdown catch, and then Jimmy G.
Paul, tell me you did not say George Kittle, a tight end. Tell me you did not say that.
That's 8 touchdown catches in 8 games, by the way, against the Cardinals defense. Yeah, he's going to be a priority.
He really is. There's no doubt about it. First of all, Jimmy G developing in this offense. This is going to be the first time the Arizona Cardinals actually face Jimmy G, number 1, right?
As a Niner.
As a Niner, right?
Yeah.
First time they actually face him as a Niner, Paul. Good safety tip right there. But George Kittle as well. Here he comes. This guy is developing into one of the best tight ends in the National Football League. He's physical, he's nuts, which I love. I love the fact he's nuts, and he's talented.
He just celebrated National Tight End Day as well, as we saw. So there you go. No sleep till prime time.
Coach Kingsbury's final thoughts on Thursday night's NFC West tilt with the Niners when we return. Cardinals Game Plan has been brought to you by Dignity Health, Hello Human Kindness, and by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM.
All right, so Cardinals on prime time. Just tell us about the challenge of that, the night game, the short week. How amped up do you think the players are going to be seen by a national audience?
They'll be excited, there's no doubt. You know, it's Halloween, only game on. They'll be showing all over the country, and so our guys will be fired up to be out there.
Are you going to practice at all, Coach? Is it going to be more of a walkthrough during the week, or?
We will. We'll kind of jog through and have some walkthroughs, a lot of above the neck emphasis, if you will, and work on the mental game.
So keys to victory if you're going to win, Coach.
Yeah, offensively, got to possess the ball more than we did last week. We had some short drives, and we've got to be able to keep the defense off the field. And then defensively, it starts with stopping the run. They've been running really well, which makes everything else effective. So we got to slow the run game down.
All right, Coach, good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you for watching Cardinals Game Plan. For more great Cards content, check out the team's official YouTube page at youtube.com/AZCardinals.